All right, so it's been a while since we actually did a two-man in the movie theater, and I felt like this is a very, very special moment due to the fact that one of our first podcast reviews was John Wick 4, the finale, and we've been, well, I know you especially have been waiting the longest time to get your hands on this movie. You're a big, huge John Wick fan, so I feel like this is going to be extremely exciting to talk about this particular from the world of the John Wick Ballerina movie.
Yes, sir.
So I want to go ahead and start this off by saying I feel like this is probably the best movie in the whole freaking John Wick franchise.
I want to go that far and say that, but this was a really, really good movie. I enjoyed it. I had fun watching it.
So out of all five of the movies, I know this is early, but where would you put it as far as ranking them?
Top 3.
Okay, because if it's not gonna be number 1, it's probably gonna be number 2 for me.
I put it at number 3.
So what's 1?
1.
So John Wick. Okay, we're in agreement. It's John Wick 1, and then I'm putting Ballerina at number 2. And what you got at number 2?
John Wick 2. Number 1, then number 2, then Ballerina, and then number 3, and then number 4.
Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and get into the concept of this movie. This is, like we said, this is the 5th movie of the John Wick franchise. It's a spinoff, which again, we both had our concerns about the movie. This movie was shot, as far as the story is concerned, in between John Wick 3 Parabellum and the last movie, John Wick Chapter 4. That's what it was called. Correct. Chapter 4. And it's about Eve Macaro. She's the daughter of 2 assassins, which I thought the cult was actually like, okay, this group is an actual cult where they believe in certain things, but the group is actually called the Cult. She ends up escaping an assault on her father, and she ends up training with the Kikomura and the Rascaroma for 12 years, and she ends up becoming an assassin. And she notices on one of her missions of one of the cult's tattoos is the same tattoo that she saw when she was younger, when that assault happened at her father's home. And she ends up searching for information about this cult to get information about the people that killed her father, which that was the Chancellor, the cult leader, where we find out that it's a lot deeper than that. So, Ana de Armas. I don't know what we gotta do, but we gotta get her a Marvel character.
I think you're right on that, yo. I dug her performance. She was amazing at it. I did like how they try to keep it, they try to keep it based on, even though this is going out of a limb here, they try to keep it as realistic as possible. As much as they could.
I'm gonna stop you right there because I know you're beating around the bush with it, and this is why I had a hard time pushing out the G20 review. Is the fact that when we sit down and we do these female-led action hero TV shows, movies, whatever you want to call it, and we look at the build of some of these female lead actors that are doing unbelievable, unrealistic stuff. Like the fight choreography is just freaking horrible. I never thought that fight choreography could ruin any type of film for me than a woman-led action hero that doesn't do realistic things in these fights. Like in this movie, it was perfect the way they did the fight choreography, where it was even explained at the beginning when she was doing the training with the Kikomura was, hey, this dude is bigger than you. You need to use your resources. You either gotta scrawl, you gotta scratch, you gotta claw, you gotta fight dirty, you gotta do whatever you gotta do. And I feel like what puts this movie over the top for me was that particular thing. Throughout the whole movie, she end up getting into certain encounters with enemies where she's able to not just overpower her opponents, but she used their weight against them. And I feel like that is what's missing from a lot of fight choreography with a lot of female-led action heroes. And yeah, no disrespect, I know a lot of people's gonna get offended by that, but let's just call a spade a spade. It's not realistic. Like, you don't see me. You really think I'm gonna be able to fight somebody that weighs over 300 pounds? I wouldn't get in a fight with anybody I know I can't beat. But still, at the same time, like, I'm not gonna fight somebody that's over 300 pounds because I know I'm gonna get murked. So same rules apply.
No, I feel you. But before you interrupted me, I was gonna get into that. I just say what I mean is that I'm trying to find a word to replace what I'm actually trying to say. But so, like I said, they try to keep it ground based. That's what I'm trying to come up with the word. Not realistic, but trying to keep it ground based. Yes, we're talking about like a 90-pound, maybe like 110-ish pound woman beating down like 300-pound men without some type of explanation. Now, if you give me some Ren bullshit off Star Wars, just talk about, oh, Bray, you got power, just beating down people just twice your size, bull fucking shit, I'll call cap on it all day. I'm not, like you said, calling a spade, but at least they gave it somewhat of an explanation. Yes, we're not talking about like the action scenes. We're talking about the hand-to-hand combat. Like, okay, cool. To explain how she's able to take down some of these dudes that are twice her size or bigger or taller than her or muscular than her. You got to fight dirty, kick them on the balls, do what you got to do, use your weakness against you. That's what I liked about it. You know, it's all about using your environment. And that's what I liked. I was like, okay, they gave an explanation. Yes, you are weaker and fragile and most likely shorter than most of these people you're going to fight, your opponents, the ops. There's no way that you're going to be short, small, fragile, and being down like somebody 300 pounds your size, bro. There's no way. So I did like that about that. I did like how they emphasize the training, because yet again, I cannot stress this enough when it comes to like lead female action stars, where you just get just badass moments where you're just fighting people with no, how do I say this, training. Like you're just like the shit. Like there's no fucking excuse, bro. Like, no, you got to show how you climb the ranks. You got to get your ass beat first in order to whoop some ass. And I did like that.
And she's literally training daily to be able to do what she does. And I want to take this a step further because I know you're big into the martial arts thing. No disrespect to any martial artists out here, but at the end of the day, this karate, we just did Karate Kid last week. Karate and all those hand-to-hand combat, that's just bullshit, okay? At the end of the day, when you see, I'm gonna put John Wick into this conversation too. When you watch John Wick, you see how they're training. They're training with not just hand-to-hand combat, but he specializes in a lot of ground type of combat where most of the fights ends up on the ground. You had to be able to maneuver on the ground and be able to do that. And I feel like that was key when we end up talking about the Kikomoro and the Rosca Roma and in the whole John Wick franchise, is those are the main the main element in his fighting style, is that it's mostly on the ground.
Facts. Like, it's the grappling, the wrestling, the self-defense is what gets you where you need to get to be able to take down your opponent and be able to use their weight against them. And also how you're able to manipulate your opponent by using their emotions against them. Also the ballerina, to be more flexible, to be on your toes, you know what I mean? Like, to have you active. That's what I did love, is that she pushed herself and pushed herself and pushed herself. Like, she wasn't just given the talent, bro. She had to work hard for it. That's what I loved about it. I was like, I felt that. Like, she was day in and day out. Like, in the beginning of the movie, she was doing a dance, and she was breaking her toenails, bro. Breaking her toes too while she was at it. Like, I felt that. I was like, bro, she wanted this. And it's also the drive that gave her the loss of her parents, the fact that she was taken away from her father and her sister, just so her father can give her a better life. And then she wanted revenge. This is one of the things I like about this franchise. It gives me like this samurai type vibe. Like, you kill someone that I love, I gotta go back and seek my revenge. Even though that's the moral of the story, an eye for an eye makes the world go blind. Like, you should, like, revenge is nothing. You're never gonna get what you truly want out of revenge. But This is not either here or there. That's what I love about it. Like they go through the struggle. They go what they gotta do. They gotta study. They gotta practice to get where they want to. And even that's not enough. I did love how she was, even though she was on the field, she was getting jobs, right? She's still getting her ass dogged, bro. And I'm like, bro, but the fact that she's getting back up, that shows how much her determination that she wanted this shit. She's like, I want this shit. I want this. I want that fight. I want that blood. I want that action. She wanted that to prove herself. And I loved it. That's what I love the drive about it. I'm like, bro, yeah, some of it, don't get me wrong. I'm going to call cap on a lot of this shit. Some of these dudes should have whooped that ass, but I mean, hey, look, it's just a movie. At the end of the day, it is what it is.
We get the fact that it's just a movie. There's supposed to be some type of fake shit, but don't make the whole thing fake.
like too unbelievable is what I'm saying, right? Like at some point, I ain't gonna go cap on Keanu's character either. Too, John Wick is doing some off the wall bullshit too, but it's neither here or there. It's an action movie. That's what we go for. We just want to see action. We want to see the blood. We want to see the ops get destroyed. That's just me. That's why I go for it. But at the same time, let's not call a spade too. My only nitpick about this movie, I'm not going to lie to you. I really try not to worry about the physics in this shit. But sometimes some of these bullshit, like I got a full clip, 12 rounds in the chamber, and I'm sitting there like, bro, I think I counted 15 shots, maybe 20. And I'm like, bro, when the fuck did you have time to reload? Because some of these action scenes were just go boom, 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 boom. And it was like, but I don't see you reload the clip. But that's just me. I'm not nitpicking. I'm just saying. I gotta call it.
Could it be just the fact that she reloaded the clip while it wasn't, the camera wasn't on her?
True, it could be, but at the same time, sitting there like, that's cap. There's no way you're shooting more what the clip has on the gun. But hey, it could be modified, but it's neither here or there. But I'm just saying, realistically speaking, some of these guns were just ridiculous, though.
I hear you. So, there was one other thing about Eve Macaro that I really did enjoy, is the fact that she had a sense of mercy in this movie. Where,
oh yes,
where I feel like that was very, very important. Whether it be, because I want to say that was probably something similar that was with John Wick 2. He did have some type of mercy to some folks. Like if it's just some random people he just don't know, he gonna murk them regardless. But I will say that I really did enjoy the beginning and the end, as far as, like, there was never a dull moment in this movie. Where what separates this one from all the other ones is the fact that I felt like there was a lot more story to it. There was, and it was a nice happy medium with story and of course action sequences where we're actually progressing somewhere. And I feel like in all the other John Wick movies outside of the first and the second one, like, it's just, there was really no progressing with anything that was going on in the movies.
I can see where you're coming from with that. I do agree with you full-heartedly about like the progression, and I did like the origin story. I mean, yes, it's been a while in John Wick movies that we got somewhat of a story being told. You know what I'm saying? Because as we know from the first one, who he is, he's this mean-ass assassin that nobody fucks with. He's called the Baba Yaga, the man you send to kill the boogeyman, basically the boogeyman in Russian. But I did like how the fact that we get an origin story, and I did like how the character evolved. And yes, that's what separates her from the rest of the other assassins, just like John Wick. There is some type of
morality.
Like, there is a certain line you won't cross, even though you already crossed it yourself. But yes, there were some people that, I'm not going to lie to you. There are some people in that movie that deserve what they got coming to them. But then there's some characters in the movie you go and be like, you really should have murked them, but you really didn't because you felt some type of like connection with them. I'm not going to lie to you. There's some characters that I'm like, I don't know why you held back on them, but but that's what separates us from the other people. That's what they were trying to emphasize in the movie, that not all these people are bad, even though that they are mercenaries. You know what I'm saying? I did like that full-heartedly. One of the best things I did like about this, bro, I don't know, it's just, if it's just me, I'm not going to go like completely left field with this, but can we just talk about the soundtrack, bro? And like, I don't know what it is about John Wick movies, but bro, they pick like the soundtracks that they pick for these action scenes are fucking ridiculous, bro. I'm sitting here like, yo, where did he find this shit from?
Ridiculously good or ridiculously bad?
Oh no, ridiculously good. Like
Okay,
some of these songs, I'm sitting there like, okay, I don't know how you picked this soundtrack, but whatever you're doing good. I love the soundtrack for these movies, bro. They every time we get a sequel, the soundtrack is like up another level, and I love it. And I'm not gonna lie to you, it really dawned on me right now, as I'm thinking about when I'm talking about this movie, that every movie in the John Wick franchise, because this is the 5th installment in the John Wick franchise, that every movie has a club scene in it. There's not a miss. Every movie has a club scene.
What's the club scene in the third one?
The third one, damn. Hold up.
That's after he became excommunicado.
Oh snap! I'm trying to remember. Holy crap! The first one was when he was chasing the Russian
son for taking his car.
Yeah,
and the second one was he was killing the sister.
He was killing the sister, and then Common came after him, which was a sick ass intro.
And the fourth one was
when he was fighting Scott Adkins' character, the fat dude.
I don't remember one in the third.
Wasn't there one in the third? Hold on, no, there was.
I don't think there's one in the third.
Hold on, he was being chased down by the tall dude. He beat him in the library.
Yep. No, I don't think there's a club scene.
Unless you consider the one with Halle Berry's character. When he went when they were trying to say that she needed to murk one of the dogs.
I guess. Okay, I guess we could roll with that. But yeah, we can roll with that. We'll roll with that. But character I want to talk about. Norman Reedus' character. Excuse me, no. Forget all that. Let's get on Lance Reddick real quick, because I feel like this is very important. When I did the trailer review, the reaction video, I felt like it's very, very important that he got a scene in this movie.
Oh yeah,
excuse me, 2 scenes. He got 2 scenes in this movie.
Yes,
and as we all know, he passed away shortly before the release of John Wick 4. So it really got me thinking of the preparation for the Ballerina movie was already in the works before they even dropped John Wick 4. And this is my hypothesis. I feel like this movie was already being shot probably during the process of John Wick 4 and The Matrix.
I think I have to agree with you. I think this must have been a back-to-back like movies. It's crazy because, R.I.P. to Lance Reddick. I love his character. It's sad that he passed away in the 4th one, but I mean, hey, it is what it is. Would I like to see him again? Yeah, I would love to get a backstory on him. But I mean, we got the Continental TV show. I don't think you watched that, but must watch. But Lance Reddick, damn man, I love his portrayal in this movie. It just felt right that he was there.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know about you, I forgot that he had passed away. I'm not going to lie to you. But to see him come back on the big screen and see his character reprise that role was amazing. You know what I mean? It just felt right. It was. I sat there and I'm like, damn, bro, he's gone. He's not here no more. It's crazy because this was his final screen appearance. He passed away, I believe, in 2023 in March. He was born in 1962 in Baltimore, Maryland. So that's crazy. I mean, he's got a lot of roles. He was recently in the last Resident Evil Netflix series. But it just felt right him being there. I don't know, if he had passed away and he wasn't in the movie, it just wouldn't feel right. I mean, it's just me. I feel like he's part of the John Wick franchise. You know what I'm saying? Now going forward, now after this, it is what it is. Because they already did his character justice by letting him pass away.
Yeah, well, they killed him, but in the movie. But I felt like that was perfect for him, which he probably knew that his time was going to be coming sooner or later. So he ended up like, "Yep, kill me off."
I think don't quote me on this, but I think he passed away from natural causes. I'm not 100% sure on that. But it's just crazy to, like see him pass, like see him not here anymore. And it's like, damn, like now going on with the John Wick franchise, like do we act like he doesn't like? Oh, I mean, his character did pass away, but should we do prequels to this with him in it, or should we just ignore it?
Let it be what it is.
I think like mentioning him would be great, but I don't think you need to replace his character with another actor. I think you should leave that alone.
Well, let me just say this, because if we're talking, you said a prequel. I again, you already know how I feel
No, I'm
about
just saying, like,
prequels.
if you're gonna go back and talk about like the past because he's no longer with us anymore, should we replace him with another actor? No, I don't think so. I think you could mention him, but just don't. You don't need to have someone reprise his role.
Yeah, let it be what it
Let it
be.
be.
If like clearly we're gonna get a Ballerina 2 movie based off of the events that happened at the end of the first movie. So I would think this would take place after the fall of the High Table.
I was gonna say that for the end, but let's get into. I'm not gonna lie to you. Let's get into this whole new like the cult, like this whole new like family that is part of the High Table that we didn't get introduced. We get a new Continental too location, which is crazy.
Is it part of the High Table? Because we're talking about a group that doesn't follow the same rules as the Ruscaroma, but it's crazy that they don't even reference the High Table in this movie.
Yes, that's the crazy part because as we know, John Wick 3 and John Wick 4 had hasn't happened yet in between those three movies. But I did like how they brought back John Wick 3 and how it was connected to Ballerina and all that. The only thing I have to say is the fact that how they introduced a new family, the cult. I don't think they got a name in this movie. They had, I believe his name was the Chancellor, the guy who was leading the cult. I believe he was played by Gabriel Bryan.
You talking about the cult leader? His name is Gabriel Bryan.
Yeah, Gabriel Bryan. Yeah, my fault. Gabriel Bryan played the Chancellor. This whole new introduction of the cult. Maybe it's just me. I'm not trying to go like off script right here, but it just gave me like, I don't know, like I love how badass they were because they didn't give a fuck, bro. That was the crazy part. They didn't play by the rules like the High Table did. It gave me like Beekeeper vibes. Like they were just doing like off the wall shit. I'm like, bro, like it is crazy because the Rosca family was like, bro, we don't deal with them, but we know not to fuck with them. And it's crazy too because Winston even mentioned the same thing too, bro. Like it's best that we keep the enemy of our enemy, in our house so we can keep track of what they're doing. Most people don't think they exist. And it's crazy. It's like there really are snakes because they implied that they were snakes. Once you cut off a snake's head, another one grows. And that's how dangerous they are because, bro, like going through into this franchise, like seeing this cult, they just keep everybody is an assassin.
Right.
And it's crazy. Like, bro, like who are these people? Like, why does nobody talk about it? And it's crazy because even John Wick was like, bro, you don't want that smoke. And I'm like, bro, this is the boogeyman. This is the baddest man on earth. And even he's telling the main character, like, bro, you should chill. Like, because these people are not the ones you want to fuck with. And I'm like, yo, if you got John Wick talking like that, who are these people, bro? It had me thinking, like, are these people really that badass? Because I thought the High Table was the worst of the worst.
Well, you think about it, the High Table, like it really wasn't specified exactly what the High Table was. Well, it was like they were like the leaders of this assassin universe that they have going on, but it just seems like the cult is different where like they're just their separate faction where they just train in this very small town. They have like hundreds of people in this small town and they all know how to frickin' fight. So
I think there are thousands, but like still, that's crazy.
Yeah, maybe thousands, but they have like hundreds of people in this small town that they all freaking train and they all freaking know each other and they all answer to this one dude, the chancellor. So that just takes it to a whole nother level because it actually gives you some type of perspective exactly what the type of time that the cult is on, opposed
No,
to like the Roscaroma. They're their own separate faction. Like we probably seen like maybe tops maybe 3 factions in during, because you have Lawrence Fishburne's character. He had his own little faction thing with the birds, and obviously homeboy from John Wick 3 with the sushi jump. They got their own little faction, and then probably those are probably the only factions that I can think of off the top of my head. But everybody had their own faction, but they all answer to the high table. Like they're saying that the cult literally plays by their own rules. So they're not even a part of the universe, but they're feared enough throughout the high table universe where, we don't fuck with them. Like they do their own thing to an extent, because when they were in the, what's the hotel called?
Continental.
The Continental, they were following the rules to an extent. Like they knew that they weren't supposed to conduct business on continental grounds. So they still do answer to some type of rules, but at the same time, they strike fear in everybody in this high table universe where they know to move, to get out the way when they come around.
Facts. But that's what I'm trying to think about. Because think about it. The high table has 12 families, right? Plus the person who sits on the high table, the one above all, who John Wick answered in chapter 3. Yeah, chapter 3. Remember, he cut his finger off.
Killed him in the 4th movie.
Killed him. He killed him in the 4th movie off screen, but then he killed another one in chapter 4. The point what I'm trying to get to is that these people are so scary. Even though they may follow some type of rules, they don't follow rules, bro. They do not care. You kill one, another one takes its place. That's the scary part. Like, we haven't seen that in the John Wick universe where people challenge the high table. The only one so far that we got who has challenged the high table was John Wick. But now we're getting a universe, a side story where there is a cult that challenges all rules. Like Winston states, there are rules that divides us between us, the animals. Otherwise, we live amongst the animals. Which is scary, because thinking about that, you got all these assassins that are shook with these people. And it's crazy because the only difference between the cult and the people on the high table, because they're all similar in the same universe. They don't play by no rules. They all live by the code of the mercenaries. But the only difference that divides them from the high table is that they only answer to one man. Well, the people on the high table, the assassins talk to the high table or the one above the table, and then the other ones talk to the chancellor. But the only difference is that these assassins in the cult can build their own family. But they all go through the same regiments in order to become an assassin. They must obey the rules that they all become eventually the same thing as their parents do. They have no choice. There's no freedom. Like, as in the world of the high table, that you have to go through certain regiments and classes in order to become
registered assassin.
A registered assassin, or to be part of the high table. Consequences to every action you do. Like John Wick stated, the whole point of this whole movie too, that there's always choices to make. You don't have to be part of the high table. You could always walk away from it or keep yourself under the radar where the high table don't deal with you. You answer to a higher power, but the high table won't concern themselves with you because you're below. As we see Eve going through her missions, and she wasn't part of the high table. She was getting paid money. She wasn't getting paid gold coins yet. See, that's the difference. She wasn't getting paid gold coins. The first one who gave her the gold coin was Winston. When she gave Winston that coin, that was a wrap. She was in that world. That's what he told her. Are you sure you want to do this? Because once you go, that's a wrap. Once you
I thought she was in the world once she was when she
Nah,
did
when
her
she was
first
doing the
assignment
missions,
with to recover the daughter, the
when she
Asian
recovered the
daughter.
daughter, that was American money. She got what, like $45,000 in her bank account. That was American dollars. That was John Wick don't get paid in deposits, bro.
He
They get
does.
paid in
That's
gold coins.
what's the bounty then? When they put the bounty up, what
Well,
is
they put
that?
the
'Cause
money, but they get paid by gold coins. They don't get paid by like deposits, bro. None of that shit's traceable. It's like you could say Bitcoin. They get paid physical coins in order to get to accomplish the mission. This it's untraceable, and that's the crazy part. What I'm trying to get into is that the only one who makes the gold coins, which if you watch the Continental, is Winston. Winston is the only one who creates the gold coins because in the Continental TV show, Winston has leverage against the high table because he's the only one with the device in order to create those gold coins. That's why he is the way he is. That's why they give him so much leverage. That's why he got to kill John Wick or attack John Wick in the third movie, in Parabellum. This is the reason why he was able to get the Continental in the fourth one. So, I mean, Winston is a smart motherfucker. Thank God that he's best friends with John Wick.
no,
But
he's
I'm going to
not.
tell you like this.
I, I
Okay,
cannot.
so
I cannot believe.
all
I
that was
cannot believe
planned.
you're on board. You're on board with
All that
John
was
Wick being
planned, bro.
friends with this guy.
All that was planned. All that shit was planned, bro. But also, too, what I really love about this movie, bro, like, I'm not going to lie to you. To see E progress as a character, but not only progress, but to see her go through the missions and evolve, this was giving me GTA like vibes, bro. Straight GTA vibes. You create a character, you go on missions, small missions, into bigger missions to become big boss, and then you want to take on the big bosses. That's what I felt. I'm like, bro, because some of this shit like was unbelievable. Don't get me wrong, but the fact that you were able to go against the Rosca family and you don't get served. Yes, they did send John Wick. Spoilers, they do send John Wick.
By the way, you was having a moment to
I
me
did have
looking to
moments.
my right. He was like, I just thought you was having a seizure in there. Oh my god! Oh my god! John is in the movie. Oh my god! from the moment he stepped off that train, you like,
I was having a seizure, dog. I needed CPR, bro. I was like, no, they didn't. The fact that they even introduced him talking to Eve in the beginning of chapter 3 or in the middle of chapter 3, talking to Eve was crazy. That's all I thought we were going to get a cameo. But when this motherfucker steps out the train, and not only do we get to step out the train, the Rosca family had an agreement with the Chancellor. The Chancellor was like, you need to control your one of your ops. Like, she's off script, and she was like, I can't control her. But what if we make an agreement? They make an agreement. What if I send a man to take her down? He was like, all right, you got till midnight. Of course they send John Wick. And I'm like, damn, bro. They sent the baddest motherfucker to go get her. And then this motherfucker not only walks up there, bro, but seeing this dude strike fear even in the Colts, like POV, like seeing the Colts sit there and like with guns, fully armed, bro. They're rolling in the thousands. They're talking about, bro, that's the Baba Yaga. Like, he's actually here. And I'm sitting there, bro, who the fuck are you to fucking strike that much fucking fear into people, bro? He didn't even arm. This motherfucker's looking at him like, what the fuck out of my way? Y'all some bitches. And then he was like, where's my op? And then he goes find Eve like his nonchalantly, bro. And then he was like, please don't make me do this. He said, just turn back. And this is what I love about the movie. Thank God you didn't fucking overshadow Keanu Reeves, bro. Because if you did that shit, I would have been done. I would have walked out. I ain't gonna lie to you. This is where I have a problem with the whole fucking Me Too shit. Because if you had her beating John Wick, I'm done. Give me my refund. I'm done. I'm done. Take it. Have it. Take it. I'm done. But thank God they didn't do that shit. He beat the shit out of her too. That wasn't even what? A minute and a half? I'm not even gonna give her 2 minutes. That was like at least a minute. 60 seconds. That was done. And he took her down 4 times. Like, boom, 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 done. Like, no, you're not doing it. Disarmed her, twice? Then fucking grappled her to the floor twice? And then she had to talk her way. No talk, no jutsu. Please, let me do this. Like, I gotta do this. Okay. Fine. You got till midnight. You better kill them all, or otherwise I'm gonna kill you. Yo, I'm sorry, that's straight cat. Because if I was John Wick, I would have just ended it right there. But hey, he found himself what's the word I'm looking for? A student. He found himself a Padawan.
All right, let's talk about this. Let's talk about this. The ending of this movie. Where do we go from here? Clearly, Eve, she disobeyed. Excuse me. She disobeyed the Ruscaroma, the director, and we ended up having to put Eve on excommunicado. Excuse me. I was so it's clearly obvious that we're going to get a sequel. I feel like this movie's
You think so?
it's probably already going to get. It's going to do good. I'm gonna put it to you like it's going to do well. I think it's going to
My
do well.
prediction, I think, is going to do amazing. I think it's going to do really good. The question is, do we want a sequel?
Yes.
Okay, because I was about to say the same thing.
But if you would, okay, so here's the thing, because you already know how I feel about prequels, and you know how I feel about sequels for the right reasons. And I feel like when they just beating things with a stick when it's already dead, just to get as much money as you possibly can get out of it sometimes. And I feel like for once, this is the second time for that they actually did the right thing here. Where I feel like this was already pre-planned before we end up getting John Wick 3.
Okay. I don't know. They left it so ambiguous. I felt like you could get a second chapter to this movie, but it could also be left like a what if story, like it's just one and done. I could see them ending it like that. Do I want a sequel? I'm not going to lie to you. This is my opinion. I want a sequel. I do.
I know you do. Anything with John Wick going, you go to the theater for it.
For this because
you start there. How about that? You start there. Anything that says John Wick on it, I go watch.
And for those who stay tuned and watching us for the first time, I'm a big John Wick fan. I'm not a big Keanu fan. I don't like when he talks because when he does, he ruins the movie. That's just me. I don't like his acting style. But the one thing I do love is that he really, really tries so hard for these movies. Though, so I'm not going to lie to you. The less he talks, the better it is for me. That's what I love about Keanu Reeves in this movie. I'm not going to hold him. He's the GOAT in this fucking movie. That's what I'm telling you before when I stated earlier. They didn't overshadow him. That's what I love about it. But I want to see a sequel. I don't want a prequel. I don't need a prequel. The only thing I want to say is that I want more background on the cult because we didn't get a name. We killed the Chancellor, and it's a possibility somebody could take his place. And 4, she's wanted. I believe the bounty was doubled. I believe it's $4 million now.
I can't remember. It was a brief second.
So the only thing is I have is this. If you're going to do a sequel, do it right. Make sure it's right. It's a good story. Don't just throw it out there just to throw it out there. No cash grabs. The last thing I'm going to say, from my opinion, Chapter 4, we already know that Keanu's character is dead. John Wick is dead.
We sure?
There's no way he survived that, bro.
I'm hearing rumors about John Wick 5.
I heard about that too, but you... I don't know, bro. At this point, goddamn, bro. There's no way you fucking getting ran over several times, shot several times, and then fucking shot point blank. But at the same time, okay, let's say he survives. Should we put these two characters together, or should we just let her run off on her own? Do we need him? Do we need him in her movie, or do we need a cameo? No action scene, just straight cameo, or do we need both of them?
Do we need a cameo at all?
I'm going to go out of a limb here. No. I don't think she needs Keanu to make this movie. I think she can hold it on her own. I'm talking big game right now because this is not my first time watching her in her own film. She was also in James Bond, No Time to Kill. That was a great movie. She was great in that fucking movie as well. I would like to see her carry the...
Is that with that loser, James Bond?
Yeah, your boy. You don't like that shit. You don't like your boy. Oh my God. Stop playing with me, bro. Stop playing with me. But
not with Daniel Craig.
Yes. Get over it. Okay. Anna, do I want to see her carry the film by herself? Yes. I'm going to go out on a limb here. because everybody keeps debating this with me. I'm not going to lie to you. This is off topic. Everybody keeps saying that Common didn't die in the second one. I think he did. But if you're going to throw somebody in there, let's keep Keanu out of it. If you're not going to throw Keanu, throw somebody that is going to be amazing. Winston, I would definitely add Winston in that movie, and I would definitely add Common in that movie. If supposedly he's not dead, everybody keeps fighting me on this. Oh, he didn't see him die on screen, but bro, he fucking killed him on the train. But whatever.
He didn't kill him on the train.
Yes,
He stabbed him. He stabbed him. He stabbed him. No, he stabbed him. He said, if you pull it out, you'll die. So
if you leave it in there, you'll bleed to death. There's only two options.
But he can still seek medical help after that, though.
But how do we know he made it on time to medical help?
Hey, he ain't clearly kill him. So, like you say with Marvel, if you don't see a body, he's still alive.
Okay, cool. I'm not against the idea if you bring Common back. I mean, everybody else has died. I don't want a prequel. I don't. I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't want a prequel. No, I don't need no more. If you're gonna do prequels, just mention the cult. That's it. Nothing else. Nothing more. But overall, I like to see her carry the movie. But if you're gonna add people, add Winston back and maybe Common. But if we're gonna add John Wick, I'm okay with it. But make it believable. If John does survive in John Wick Chapter 5, I'm okay with it. One more round, that's it. Let him retire. Let him put the fucking gun down and let him get his final fucking give him what he wants. Give him his retirement. Let him go. But
so
overall,
can I add one more thing that I feel like the only thing that he screwed up on this movie as far as anything with a sequel was the background with the sister. You could have did something with the sister in the next movie and we could have piggybacked off of that. But if we were to do a sequel, this just dawned on me just now. Please, like we know that she's excommunicado. Don't make it like Parabellum. Don't make it like that, where you're on the run and everybody's after you. It's almost the same thing. So if we can somehow get away from that aspect of her being excommunicado and focus it more on the cult, then you got me on. Okay. I'll sign on for that.
So like minimize the whole
the excommunicado part. But what is there left to uncover with the cult now that we already answered for our father's murderer? We found out that our sister never died. and probably the only loose end that hasn't been tied was Norman Reedus' character. He was supposed to be the Chancellor's son.
We can't forget about him, bro. Oh, well, let's not end the pod.
We forgot. Yeah, we forgot about that. But I thought like they were going to kill him. Like that was the whole reason why they had the bounty. They wanted to kill him and take the daughter back, which was the Chancellor's granddaughter. So you find out at the end of the movie that he's just laying in the hospital bed. He good.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Give me this sequel. Give me Winston. Give me Norman Reedus. And give me Common, and we're good.
He seemed weird in this movie. I
like him, bro. It's cool to see him come back. Like I haven't seen him in a movie in a while, so like it's cool to see him in a movie.
What's the last movie you've seen him in?
The Boondock Saints.
That's it. That's the last movie you've seen him in.
Yeah, in the last two. I haven't seen him in another movie in a while. I'm a big Silent Hill fan. I thought we were going to get Silent Hill with Norman Reedus, but as we know, Kyoto Tomo decided to step down, and Konami didn't want to produce the game. I would have loved to see him, and then we saw him in The Last Stranding, I believe it was called. It's a video game. I haven't played it. I heard it was okay. It wasn't that great, but I did like his character. I would have loved to get more. Seeing his character survive in it. But before we go off, I just got to say, your favorite action scene in this movie, because we can't go out without saying this.
Favorite action scene in the movie?
Yeah.
Probably with the grenades.
I was going to say the same shit, bro. Yo, the grenades was fucking crazy, bro. Yo, when they went in that gun shop and she was just throwing them grenades out there, good God almighty, bro. That one dude that got stuck at the door, damn, bro. Yeah. She left the whole fucking belt with grenades. Bam, done.
All right. So since I'm gonna let you have the grenades, I'm gonna go ahead and take my man with the flamethrower that lit his leg on fire and was kicking her with the fire leg.
Okay. Oh, before we go, one last thing. One of my favorite scenes of all time, I'm not gonna lie to you, was the John Wick fight scenes. And the best part of it all, I love how they size this dude, bro. No homo, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you. They be glazing this dude, but I ain't gonna lie to you. The best scene is when John Wick started taking down these cult members and he was going down the stairwell. Remember that one chick and the one dude was like, bro, I don't think we should be doing this. The chick said, it's John Wick. He's only one man. What you think he could? Bam, shot in the fucking forehead. Bam, headshot. And I'm like, God damn. I'm sorry, that shit. I did not see that coming. That dude was a bitch. That dude was like, "It's John Wick, bro. This is suicide." And she's like, "It's just one man. What do you think? Done, done." I was like, "Jesus Christ, bro." Yo, John Wick. That's why I love. Even though we got 2 minutes of action scene with Keanu Reeves, bro, you're the goat, hands down. I applaud you. That was amazing. Glaze. I don't care what nobody say. No homo. I'm glazing him. You have my full undivided attention, bro. That was tight. That was the best scene ever, hands down. I don't give a fuck what nobody say. Let me know, guys. The comments section below.